staring at my shirt also made me think that I should I wanted to do like a video about living in your car and stuff. I know I've done videos like that before, but I thought it'd actually be cool to crawl around in the car to sort of, because it's like, it reminds me of the spaceman, like the guys who do the videos in the, and all the fellas who do the videos in the space station, in the International Space Station. So actually, like, step one is you don't want to walk on your bed. Oh, well, so there's only two major areas. There's like the, what you call it, driver's seat, and then the passenger seat, which I almost always have a lot of stuff in because it's like very accessible. But it's nice because I actually, if I do have a passenger, I can clear that out and I can have a passenger. And I actually even have a little known fact is that you don't have to put both seats down to sleep in your Tesla. You can actually leave one seat up, and so I get additional storage space there. It's great, but I feel totally comfortable. It's because I'm already sleeping on the diagonal, and then I think to myself, like, I could put down the second seat and have more space, double wide. Anyway, I want to do it. So yeah, you take off your shoes because you don't want to walk on your bed. And I was talking about the compartments because, you know, there's only one really major movement, is moving from the front area to the back area, which is, so I actually think it promotes flexibility because I do it like twice a day at least. Oh, and I'm doing this because I want to like show you what it's like to change in your car. Oh, because I stained my shirt, and I also am going to drop off. Oh, and so the other thing is, like, I often put the pads on top of my sleeping area. But that's not totally ideal because sometimes you want to be on the sleeping area. And I could put the windows up. Oh, and so I also, the reason I wanted to change into this bulletproof shirt because I'm not gonna, what's the right wording? I'm not wearing much bulletproof clothing anymore. I'm gonna actually like drop it all off at Mike's. He said he was gonna just play around with it a little bit more. Actually, I'm thinking about products in the ballistic clothing sphere because it's like safety gear, emergency safety gear, and like the kind of like the target demographic is like high spending preppers who are interested in exotic equipment that doesn't necessarily have a huge amount of like expected utility. It's more of just cool factor. I think I'm saying that just because you can actually get a massive premium. Like, for example, Apple, like when you give $1 to Apple, 16 cents goes into our pocket, and we only spend, it only takes us, and then only 40% goes into making that phone. See, like, you could say, like, if our phones cost $1, or if we sold our phones for $1, just to give you like a concept of the ratios, if we sold our phones for $1, the phone would only cost us 40 cents to make. But instead we sell our phones for $1,000, which means they cost approximately $400 to make. But then the other $600 goes into our pocket. And when I say that $400 is like my salary and Tim's salary, everyone's salary, and then like there's even left over after we pay all the salaries. We put money into our bank account. So when I say that so that 60% is just going into the bank account. It's just making our bank account bigger. Like a way to think about it is, like imagine you. It's hard to explain. Where was I going with this? Oh, so doubling back around to body armor products. Because, you know, when people think about armor, they're often stressed, and stress and fear of death essentially shortens people's time horizons, so they spend more profligately because essentially they perceive their money as having less value in the future, which means the relativistic value of the money in the present and utility gained through expenditure in the present is perceived to be more consequential in their decision making, or at least that's like what is it? Homo economicus abstraction. I like an overly simplified textbook abstraction. However, it is true. Like for example, the products I'm seeing, they have like approximately a 50% markup, at least. Like for context, a grocery store has a 5% markup. And if you're thinking to yourself, wow, it must be hard to make profit with that. Yes. If you think to yourself, wow, gosh, does the government like jump in there with a bunch of taxes and make it harder for them to give food to people? Yes. Although, interestingly enough, cold food is not taxed. It's one of the reasons why you should fill your batteries, your cellular batteries, at Trader Joe's and Whole Foods, because you're gonna dodge those taxes. And do I support it? Like I've always been a little conflicted about like minutiae of tax exemptions, because it makes the tax code highly convoluted. But the idea is you should incentivize things, and well, yeah, I mean, like if we conceptualize it as the government not getting in the way of like feeding children, I think that's great. Anyway, so whether or not you support tax exemptions of various social utilities, cold food sold in the United States is not taxed, and by extension you can achieve relativistic savings relative to hot food. Again, beat the corporations with economy. Oh yeah. So all the way on the other side, grocery stores get 5% profit margin. Lots of the bulletproof products I'm seeing, as well as Apple, get approximately 50% profit margin, and like there's products like fashion brands have 90% profit margin. Like what's the Supreme people who've managed to trick. They're selling products to everyone who's stupid. They've mastered marketing to the dumb. Those people are like 99% profit margin, because the holy shit though, that looks like some low quality clothing. Anyway, but so this survival stuff, this body armor gear, it's in like a niche where you can charge a high premium if you can find the elusive je ne sais quoi that demographic wants. Really, like, appealing to demographics is very interesting. Like some people are experts in one demographic, some people are experts in other demographics. The strongest products are the ones that span multiple demographics, but they're also the most challenging. Anyway, let me show you what it's like to change a new. Oh, another interesting thing, underknown, underdiscussed. Okay, I'll just give myself a little bit more privacy. It's like it's Under Armour brand, very famous, and I actually like it a lot. But you might be curious, why did I start wearing it? And it actually ties into the history of the brand. It actually literally went under the armor of people wearing body armor. And you're curious, why would that require special clothing? Well, I mean, it's not just chafing and stuff. It's actually, Kevlar plates have an interesting property. And Kevlar is it's like a very strong plastic fiber. And it's actually so strong that when you weave it into like a cross-hatched weave, and a bullet, like bullets that are like less than 15,000 feet per second, which is most handgun bullets, when they hit the fibers actually don't break. They, what's like the right word? Like, imagine you've probably played like that game where like kids yell, Red Rover, send, Brian over and whatever, and like the kid runs into the arms of the other kids. Wow, that's so violent. I'm surprised they let us play that. That's like gonna damage. Well, I mean, they should be robust. We should make kids robust, but like I could totally see kids getting hurt doing that. I actually remember it being uncomfortable playing that game. Anyway, whatever. So similarly, like the bullet hits the fiber, the Kevlar fiber, which is actually a brand name. Kevlar is a DuPont brand name for something called Amarid, which is a generalized chemical name for the long molecule that is used to make up those strings. Where was I going with this? Oh, yeah. So when these low velocity bullets hit the fibers, the fibers actually catch it. Which is actually sort of impressive. And then if you think about it, that means that the bullet starts pulling all of these fibers along with it, and the fibers come in and they stop they decelerate the bullet. And so they protect you mechanically because they cause the bullet to flatten rather than sort of burrow into your skin like a spear would. Although, this is actually, it's not often talked about, but even these soft plates, if they stop the bullet often, like for example, in the testing, there's a threshold, and to pass the tests, the bullets that these are rated for have to make the clay that they're testing with deviate less than 5 centimeters. But if you think about how far, that's like 2 inches. And the clay is designed to simulate flesh, like human muscle tissue and covered by skin. And so even though these pads, these Emerald pads will stop like a 44 Magnum, they also have to stop it. You could still die if it hits you in the wrong place, because like it can actually push more than 5 centimeters into you, like the bullet like the bullet's flattening and it's decelerating, and it's not spearing itself into you, and so it's not going to like poke holes in your organs. However, it can literally like push your entire body more than 2 inches back. And the reason like they have that 5 centimeter threshold because like guys doing like SWAT raids and stuff, they'll actually not just wear these soft plates, they'll actually wear like pads beneath the soft plates, because when the bullet hits the plate, the padding beneath the plate, and it's a fabric plate. When I say plate, I am actually just talking about like a tightly woven Amrid fabric, which is, these ones are approximately 0.7 millimeters thick. And so they have to wear something, they wear things, the SWAT guys wear things called trauma plates underneath the soft armor. So they'll cover like 80% of their upper bodies. And then they'll also have, with Amrid plates, and then they'll also have, what's it called? And then they'll also have trauma pads beneath their Amrid plates. Just want to make sure. I guess part of what I want to showcase is how like you can wear body armor. Like there's like body armor systems around that can be worn very casually, very discreetly. It's also part of like, who knows how realistic a concern this was, but like if you think about it, if people are following you with the intention of assassinating you, you don't want to be wearing an especially overt. Oh, excuse me, an especially overt. Sorry, this isn't a good position to control your flatulence, or probably a good position for any kind of documentation. What was I saying? So yeah, you can wear these armor systems around. Oh yeah, and maybe that's good because like if someone's, for the vest to help you, it has to like intercept a bullet. And like I thought to myself, like if I wear an overt vest, then people are just gonna shoot me in the head. They're gonna like be walking behind me, and they're gonna be like, "Oh, look at that guy's bulletproof vest under his shirt, super obvious. Shoot him in the head." I actually got a helmet too, sort of for that reason. Anyway, so yeah, I'll okay, so now I'll transition back to the front. Well, no, here, I want to move this groin pot patch up a bit, just because I don't want to have it sticking out. Also, should I wear it on the front or the back? Let's do a Salter style. Awesome. Got a milkshake. Got my Alma. Headed into this. Oh, interesting. I didn't contemplate like the noise of the Velcro. It could be significant. Like it's not going to do any stealth missions or anything. It's just, like I said, there's that goal of being clandestine and wearing the vest. Anyway, I'll put my shoes back on now that I'm in the driver's compartment, the captain's compartment. And I've moved out of the armory. Oh, so it's like another thing about these, like you see how the vest, if you lean forward, it sort of betrays the vest, but if you're leaning back, and the other thing is to use layers like that. But it's not too obvious. It is a little obvious though. Anyway, I'll get out of the car and I'll show you guys. Shout out to Dallas, American proprietor. Got some great products in development. This is actually his Construct t-shirt, Bulletproof Everyone. His fine wares can be found at bulletproofeveryone.com. So I'm realizing this is actually pretty obvious. Another interesting factor about these is the plates actually, the more you wear them, the more supple they become. Because they're like actually, like it's a very thick weave of like heavy fabric, 0.7 millimeters thick, you can probably imagine. And so as you wear them more, they become more supple and conform to your body better, and they're, the extent to which they form an imprint on the surface of the t-shirt is reduced. So I'm gonna, like I'll be honest, I'm printing so much I actually want to layer up a little bit more. The trick to concealing this thing up here is to, I guess, like one, you just go all the way up, but it actually, it's even better to just create a lot of noise around that area. Like, and by noise, I just mean like visual complexity, like layer various coats, and it just decreases the probability of anyone noticing the irregular edge there. Also, Dallas, this, like, I'm not sure this Velcro closure is necessary, because the plate, like gravity, and then there's also like a sort of wedge fit. And this Velcro increases printing on the top edge. You should do some research into, you know, closures that can constrain the armored plate but don't contribute to printing. But I love the products. They, like, honestly, they made me feel way better. Like I was ready to take fire, and I was positively motivated. I was positively motivated in spite of the fact that I was expecting people to shoot me. Anyway, so here, let's walk in. Oh, and let's grab that milkshake. What else? Smoothie and steam.